you're still in debt, or maybe you're doing okay but want to invest smarter, grow faster. Millionairex.ai gives you real step-by-step strategies to ditch debt or stack wealth. Stop dreaming and start planning. Visit Millionairex.ai today. I want you to be the next millionaire next door.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Let's stop acting like we don't see how this game is played. If you tired of folks throwing shade with a smile and keeping you boxed in with that slick behind-the-scenes racism, it's time to upgrade your survival skills. See, Phillip Scott dropped more than just knowledge. He handed you a playbook with passive-aggressive racism in the system of white supremacy. This ain't the in-your-face kind. This is that sneaky, office space, let me block your blessings type of racism that'll have you questioning your own reality. It's time to call it what it is and arm yourself with the facts. But baby, don't stop at just peeping the system. Break those mental chains too. That's why you need 7 steps to decolonize the mind. This is about freeing yourself up top, walking in confidence, and letting the world know your mind is not for rent, lease, or layaway. It's time to reclaim your power step by step. So don't just watch, take action. Click over to Amazon.com, type in passive-aggressive racism in the system of white supremacy and 7 steps to decolonize the mind, and secure both books for yourself, your crew, and anybody ready for that mental liberation. La Sherika said it, now go do it. Invest in your freedom. Pick up both books today on Amazon.com. Trust me, your mind will thank you.
If you have not been tuning in before, my goodness, you've missed out on a lot. Broke boy, but with potential. What made you realize, this soft life is for me?
I deserve it. Because main money is special. I'm single.
But you don't like to be alone now.
I'm looking for a guy to break my heart. But as long as they're Nigerians now.
Watch Sleigh Queen Nigeria, only on the African Diaspora News Channel app.
From November 14th to 21st, we're inviting you to join us for a powerful trip to Ghana. This isn't just a vacation. This is a chance to walk through the same places where many of our people were captured, held, and shipped off into slavery. So don't wait. Secure your spot today. We're making history by walking through it. Will you be with us?
In H-Town, we want news that speaks truth, just like we do.
ADNC keeps me informed and him inspired.
We've been through too much to trust mainstream media. This feels like us.
From the D to the diaspora, ADNC is how I stay woke. We binge ADNC like it's Netflix, but smarter.
They speak on us, but never for us. ADNC does.
No fluff, no filters, just the truth, daily.
From Wall Street to 125th, we're watching our news.
Download the African Diaspora News Channel app today to stay connected to the culture.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, boom, I'm here. Thank you for joining us this evening. It is Tuesday, September 2nd. We are already in September. Do you know we got 20 days officially, 20 days, ladies and gentlemen, 20 days before we are actually in fall. And I can't wait till we get to fall. I know down here, even though it's fall, it's still gonna be hot. But hey, at least we'll be winding down, right, ladies and gentlemen? winding down. I know down here in Houston area, I started noticing the difference about maybe mid-October. Maybe at night. It starts usually at night, but then humidity kind of leaves. So, because we have an extended summer here. So if you want to stay down here and you the type of person, you just love heat, come on. Because I know some of you love it. There's some of you brothers and sisters, oh man, I love the heat. I'm like, I don't love it. And I told y'all, and I will repeat this, there's new people that show up all the time. I don't love it because I did 22 years in the petrochemical industry. I worked in the heat for 22 summers, at least, minimum. 22 summers. And I don't miss the heat at all. So, yeah, I bring on the fall, bring on the winter. I'm cool. Because what I like about the winter time, I can put on my my sweaters and all of that. You ain't got to worry. It's a whole lot you don't have to worry about. Your light bill not high. It was a lot coming with summer down here. So, yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. In Chicago, y'all have a real, hold on. Now, y'all feel different about winter than I do because I was up there in Chicago that time. I think that was in October. And that boy, and I was on that waterfront, like on that little tour, and that wind come around, that wind start hitting. Boy, that wind cuts through you in Chicago. So I could imagine if it's 8 degrees. I think that one year, I talked to Sister Carter, it was like -8 degrees over there in Chicago. Yeah, see, something like that, I just wouldn't leave the house. I just stay in the house. As long as I got my coffee and all of that, decaf, of course, decaf coffee. Now, why am I saying decaf in particular? Decaf coffee is not hard on your kidneys and also is not a stimulant. So you should avoid stimulants, definitely, and you should avoid coffee that, any kind of caffeine messes with your kidneys like that. So if you're a person that loves to drink coffee, do decaf. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure to get a new book, Us versus the Machine, How Anti-Black Racism Was Programmed, Marketed, and Made to Survive. It is available right now, ladies and gentlemen, at Amazon.com. We also got a pinned comment at the top. I got Brother Stanley and Brother Jason working on the promo for it, so I don't have to keep doing that, right? But make sure, and I saw we got our first 2 sales, so I want to give a shout out to the people that went on ahead and jumped on it. Some actually got the pre-order, so I want to give those people a shout out. They got the pre-order and all of that. So it's out. Make sure you get our new book. We've been haven't wrote a book in 4 years, ladies and gentlemen. 4 years, 13 years in the game, and everything that I know now and why I talk more about their culture is because of my 13 years in this. You understand? I don't even like the term racism with them. I like the term culture because it is a culture at this point. It's a culture. And I'm glad we are starting to understand that it is a culture and not just because you say racism, it's just an individual incident. But when you say culture, that's something that's a group of people practice no matter where they go. And if you're a person who have traveled other countries and seen where they go, they do the exact same thing on vacation/holiday. If they live in another country, no matter where they at, they do the exact same things. So that's a culture. And that's why I say we got to focus more on culture, and we dive into that culture in the new book. So make sure you get this book so you understand more about their culture. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on here? Saint Nick, you say you love the heat and you hate the cold? Okay. Well, not me. Yeah, I'm cool on that. I'm cool on that heat. I don't like it. I think as I gotten just older, I don't like it no more. I used to enjoy the heat. Now, like I said, I'm cool with it. I told y'all before, my favorite temperature is about 75 degrees, maybe 80. If I'm in California, let's say 80, right? 75, 80, no humidity, and about 50, maybe about 55, maybe no lower than 52 at night. That's my favorite weather. Clear skies, whatever. You have some heat, but it's not cold. That's my temperature right there. When you get up over here where we live, 100% humidity, 100 degrees, it gets old. It gets real old. Then hurricanes. When it's summertime, hurricanes show up. So that's why, I'm not really too big on heat because of a lot of those reasons. Hurricanes disrupt your life. It can destroy everything you worked for. It just, I'm over hurricanes too. I'm over it. I'm just so over it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. What you say? You say they listen to the folks too much. The humidity gets to us, and we always, He said, we always like Arizona. Yeah, Arizona's hot. It's hot. But thank y'all also for downloading the ADNC app. Thank y'all for that. We greatly appreciate that. Just join us, $9.99. That's the best way to support us. So say, hey, I want to support you outside, just watch it. The app is the best place. Minimum $9.99. It's like 31 cents a day, right? Support us on the app. Join the app. We had everybody here that's right now would join the app. It'll be a big boost for us, right? So join the app. It's in the Google Play and Apple App Store. All right. Let's go ahead on and get this started. Get this started. Now, Natasha, I don't mind going to a location because I'm choosing to go enjoy summertime and beaches and stuff like that. That's a short difference. But when you live in it, Natasha, and you've been living in it ever since you was a child, all the way to now, I don't know, for me, it just gets old. All right. So we got to go through some video tonight. Your boy Trump. So as you know, they had some reports out of Chicago, Illinois, about a lot of shootings. And, the white supremacists got so mad at me, and I still believe this to this day. I don't care what y'all say, is that when they talk about, I did a video some years ago about these masks, right? That these masks, these realistic looking masks, and how these white guys was getting these realistic masks looking like black people. And the reason why I talked about that, because I say, what thug what pookie only do shootings on holiday weekends? They don't have a job. They're not clocking out or clocking in. They on the block. And if they got some beef, it don't matter about no freaking holiday. It's a beef. And I said at the time, I really believe a lot of these shootings that's happening in Chicago, only on these holiday weekends, they just huge holiday weekend shootings. I believe a lot of them are white supremacists coming in and doing the shootings. And then they putting it on black people. I'm not saying Pookie and Ray Ray not doing no shootings. I'm not saying that. I am not saying that. They're not doing their part. But I'm saying is it's just quite interesting that nobody questions that. Nobody questions only on holiday weekends. All these shootings and the federal government got cameras everywhere. Nobody catches anything. City of Chicago got cameras everywhere. Nobody catch all these shootings that's happening. Why nobody get caught with cameras are freaking everywhere? New York is another city too. Cameras are everywhere. We live in a surveillance state, and you mean to tell me that no license plate are caught, no persons are caught, no nothing. Just all these shootings happen. You report on them, but we don't hear about, oh man, we caught all these people in the act of a shooting. Oh, we got them on camera. We went chase them down. I told y'all that situation in Chicago is way bigger than just they on the block shooting. And then crime is also done in other communities. There's a lot of Mexicans that got gangs out there in Chicago. There's Asians with gangs, whites with gangs. Arabs got gangs. All these different groups got gangs. Or some sort of organized crime. The biggest organized crime everywhere is these massage parlors. That's organized crime all the way around. Now, I heard a rumor Trump wants to start busting them up too, which he should. He should raid them places. That's a bunch of organized crime. But I want you to hear what Trump had to say today, because this is what he had to say about Chicago. And y'all in Chicago, play this, but he said some interesting things too. So I'm gonna play the whole thing so you can hear it. So get ready. Oh, hold on. Gotta click it, right?
Definitely going to send National Guard troops to Chicago?
I didn't say when, but the answer is, look, Chicago's very interesting because I watched Pritzker get up and say we don't need help, we're safe. But 2 weeks ago, they had 6 people murdered, and they had 24 people hit by bullets. Last week, as you know, it was 7 people, 24 people hit, and 7 people died. And then over the last 2 days, that was the crown jewel. They had, I guess, 9 or 10 killed, and 50 hit with bullets. And you have this governor get up, who's a terrible governor. Probably he and Gavin Newsom would be probably the 2 worst and most naive. They're naive. Either they're naive or they're very untruthful. And he'll say, we don't want any protection. We don't need. So in the last 3 weeks, he's lost almost 20 people killed. There's no place in the world, including you can go to Afghanistan, you can go to places that you would think of. They don't even come close to this. Chicago is a hellhole right now. Baltimore is a hellhole right now. Parts of Los Angeles are terrible. If we didn't put out the fires, and I mean the other fires, the bullet fires, they didn't do a good job with, they should have had the water coming down, like I said. You know, we had to release the water. We had to go in and release the water to L.A. It's so badly run. But if I didn't send the National Guard into Los Angeles, I would be making an announcement today. I'd be talking about Huntsville, and I'd simultaneously be saying, by the way, the Olympics is not coming to Los Angeles. If we didn't do that, and even the sheriff, the top law enforcement person in Los Angeles said, we could not have handled it without them. So that's what he said.
Make your mind up on Chicago, though?
Well, we're going in. I didn't say when. We're going in. When you lose, look, I have an obligation. This isn't a political thing. I have an obligation. When we lose, when 20 people are killed over the last 2.5 weeks, and 75 are shot with bullets. So let me tell you a little story about a place called D.C., District of Columbia, right here where we are. It's now a safe zone. We have no crime. It's in such great shape. You can go and actually walk with your children, your wife, your husband. You can walk right down the middle of the street. You're not going to be shot, Peter. You're safe. Everyone likes you anyway. They probably wouldn't do it. But it's so dangerous. And there are people in this audience you've suffered greatly. There are people in this audience that have been mugged and hurt badly, and they don't want to talk about it. Maybe you were very brave in talking about it. You made quite an impression on a lot of people. I appreciate it. But there were other people in this room that have been hurt very badly just walking down the street in D.C. Washington, D.C. is a safe zone right now. It's a safe city. The restaurants are open. They're booming. You can't get a restaurant. New restaurants are announcing that they're going to be open. This took place in 12 days. Now it's 15 days, but 3 days ago it became what's known as a safe zone. It's a safe city. And this city was really bad. Really, really bad. We took 1,600 people out, hardcore criminals that will not be coming back anytime soon. And we're very proud of it. You know, to have our nation's capital lose every week. You know, it was like years, many years, where every single week somebody was killed for many, many, many consecutive weeks. This went on for years. And then we had, last week it was announced that nobody was killed last week. And I made that announcement in front of a very distinguished leader of a country. And I'm saying proudly, ladies and gentlemen, nobody was killed in Washington, D.C. this week. He looked at me like, what's that all about? I say, yeah, we have a little bit of a crime problem. And we don't have a crime problem in Washington anymore. And the mayor has been very helpful, and the police commission has been very helpful, and it's been a great team. And I would love to have Governor Pritzker call me. I'd gain respect for him and say, we do have a problem, and we'd love you to send in the troops, because you know what? The people, they have to be protected. I saw today on one of your networks, not a friendly network, except really the opposite, I would say, very unfriendly network. And they interviewed about 12 people on this morning. Most of them were African American, who were black. And they were saying, please, please, please let the president send in. These were people from Chicago. Please, we need help. We need help. We can't walk outside. We're petrified. If the governor of Illinois would call me up, I would love to do it. Now, we're going to do it anyway. We have the right to do it because I have an obligation to protect this country. And that includes Baltimore. I saw where Governor Moore was asking me to take a walk down the street of Baltimore. Well, Baltimore is a very unsafe place. It's rated number 4 in the city, one of the most unsafe places anywhere in the world. But, you know, we took care. This was a beautiful thing that happened in Washington because we showed that it could be done. And this wasn't just sending big, strong guys, and they are big and they are strong. You know, we had a great decision from the Supreme Court that had to do with sort of talent. It had to do with you are put down based on merit You can hire based on merit. So merit for a soldier or for a policeman is strong, physically fit, having a certain ability, not a person that is woke and got the job through woke, but wasn't strong enough to lift a gun out of the holster, et cetera, et cetera. No, I looked at the police. As you know, last week I went over, we had a meeting there had to be 300 people, and they were all very impressive looking. And when the bad guys see them, they're not going to do a thing. And so I'm very proud of Washington. It serves as a template, and we're going to do it elsewhere. But Chicago is certainly going to be high. I would love to have him call. I would love the governor of Illinois. I'd be honored to take his call. All he has to do is say, sir, we need help. It's out of control. And everyone knows it is. He's not kidding anyone. I would love to have, I would say, Governor Moore call, because I watched him over the weekend trying to explain that Baltimore, what they need is housing. No, they don't need housing. They need to get rid of the criminals. These are hardcore criminals. You know, we took many people off the streets of Washington, D.C. They're hardcore. They're not going to be good. In 10 years, in 20 years, in 2 years, they're going to be criminals. They were born to be criminals, frankly. They were born to be criminals, and they're tough and mean, and they'll cut your throat, and they won't even think about it the next day. They won't even remember that they did it. And we're not going to have those people.
All right. So your boy Trump say they were born to be criminals. I say, boy, that is wow. If that's not a projection, I don't know what is. He's with a whole group of people with a culture of criminality. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you going to compare them to what they have done and what they still doing now? You understand what I'm saying? I just think that's so. They always love to project themselves onto somebody else, especially us as black people. Now, let me get to the chat real quick. Let me get to the chat, because clearly y'all don't understand certain things on what I'm going. First of all, you're right, Jay. I don't live in Chicago. You're 100% right. I don't. Clearly, I don't. I visited, but clearly I don't live in Chicago. I've talked to a lot of people who do live in Chicago. I hear what they have to say about it. And because of what I've heard from them, and also the few things I've seen myself by being in Chicago, made me say, okay, man, Chicago is a city that you know. First of all, I like Chicago. Second of all, I love the black people in Chicago for sure. There's some great people. They care about their city, and you know the city government in Chicago has been doing black people wrong for a very long time. Excuse me. A lot of gentrification that's happened to black people, right? Taking people's homes, doing all kind of funny style things to black people in Chicago. Then insults to injury when they was bringing in all the migrants and putting them up in the closed schools in the black communities. But when the black community asked, okay, can we use those schools for either community centers, or can we even start our own community schools with them? Something, they said no. But when the migrants showed up, they got everything. I started using my platform definitely to speak up on that, because that's what we're supposed to do, is speak up for the issues of black people in the black community. Now, another thing, I don't think nobody on this stream supports crime. And if you do support crime, I think you're in the wrong place. I don't think no black person I know in America or throughout the world want to see criminality. They want safe neighborhoods. They want to be able to walk down the street and not be harassed. They don't want gangs in their neighborhoods and their communities. No, they don't. They don't want drugs. They don't want women walking the blade. They don't want any of that. They want to go to school in peace, play outside in peace. I can guarantee you most black people feel that way. If not all black people feel that way. Okay? Now, before I get to my piece and what I'm going to say, because I got to just acknowledge that, okay? You may not live in Houston, but doesn't mean you can't read the crime stats in Houston. Doesn't mean you can't talk to people here in Houston. Doesn't mean you can't do a lot of research in Houston. There's a lot of people that don't live in certain areas, or even, for instance, there are people that's experts in cancer and they never had cancer, but they can tell you all about it because they've done years of research people who had cancer and everything. So what I'm trying to tell you is just because you may not be in a location doesn't mean you can't speak on a certain topic. If that's the case, I couldn't do what I do because I don't live in the majority of the places that I talk about, to be honest with you, from here to the African continent. Now, let me get to another reporter here. Real quick, let me get to her. And let's go it on and rock with
Easy point for political pundits to get in front of a microphone and say what they think about the National Guard coming to Chicago. We've heard a lot from them. We've heard from politicians. And in fact, we've heard from military veterans. The group that we haven't heard from are the residents, many of them living in some of these violent communities, what they think about the National Guard coming to town. And our first stop was on the west side, right in Garfield Park.
They shouldn't have authority to try to police the world of the city because they don't know the rules and regulations of what officers do.
My thing is we in war with ourselves or is the government in war with the citizens? So.
Look in front of Marshall High School. There's nobody there. There's nobody here.
Now, Garfield Park on Chicago's west side ranks second among communities with the most shootings this year. That's according to crime data. So far, 93 people have been shot in the area and 13 have died. Now, we spoke with 3 residents who all share, you heard it, a common view. The National Guard is not the solution. Some described it as a temporary fix to a much deeper problem. Meanwhile, 14 miles away in Chicago's Woodlawn neighborhood, that's on the south side, we interviewed 2 women from different generations. And despite the age gap, their opinions align. Both questioned the need for troops. One of them said Chicago was not nearly as bad as some other cities and expressed concern that the city might be used as a political pawn.
President or whoever is sending this off to us or deploying these National Guards here, I'm not sure if that's such a good idea. We need to have more policing in these areas where they're doing these crimes. And that's all to it, and it shouldn't just be downtown.
The National Guard will only be a temporary solution to an everlasting problem, because even if you get National Guard here, sure, crime will go down, but I don't think that it will get to the root of the problem. It'll slap a Band-Aid on. There's a lot of reasons why there's a lot of crime that goes on, like throughout Chicago and even surrounding neighborhoods. Some people have a lack of resources. Maybe they were not raised in the right houses. And when bringing National Guard here, all that's going to do is instill fear.
Now, keep in mind, we did just interview a very small part of Chicago's population, but when you look at numbers, because numbers don't lie, you can see that Chicago does have issues with violence, but it is not the most violent city in America, especially when you look at FBI crime reports. In fact, cities like St. Louis, Baltimore, and Detroit, they actually top the list when it comes to per capita homicides.
All right. Excuse me. All right. So let's get into that. Jay asked a question about Houston. Is it a segregated city? Let's say the Houston Metroplex, because we don't even look at Houston as just one city. We look at the whole Metroplex area. Houston and the whole Metroplex area is actually pretty diverse. Do they have certain areas where just Hispanics may stay, whites, blacks, whatever? Sure. That's well, let me tell y'all something. When you say segregated city, okay. I remember I went to a YouTube event, okay? And I'm standing there with a YouTube partner manager, and I'm just talking with her, right? I'm just talking. So we were talking for a hot minute, and everybody's coming in, right? Now, they didn't tell nobody where to sit. They didn't. So you can sit whatever you want. So now, as I'm standing there, I'm watching people come in, and I'm watching people look. Something told me just pay attention. So they had some Hispanics at one table, like a Hispanic lady. Then if Hispanics came in, they all start going over the table with the Hispanic lady. Then I seen some white people come in, and they had like a white person sitting somewhere. Then they all went to the table with the white person. Then when some black people came in, all the black people went with the black people. And then I seen a couple of Arabs. They went with the Arabs. And when I sat back and watched, everybody naturally went with their own community, or like some people, like the Bible would teach, two of its own kind, going on the boat, two animals of its own kind. People go with what they're more comfortable with in society. Even animals do that. Do you see lions hanging out with panthers? No. Do you see panthers hanging out with cheetahs? No. They don't do that. They hang out with their own communities, right? That's what they do. So is it really segregate? The issue of segregation comes up when they are misdistributing resources. That's when the segregation issue comes up. For instance, if you're giving white people all the resources and you're giving crumbs to everybody else, then that's more of an issue to me than, okay, there's no laws on the books that can't say you can't go to this neighborhood. There's no laws on the books. So long as there's no laws on the books, you can stay wherever you want. I mean, I know a lot of black people say, I would like to stay in a black community with my people that's safe, good schools, great grocery stores, doctors, lawyers. Like if they say we can get Black Wall Street back again and like exactly like it was in the modern era, I don't see no black people saying I don't want to be there because there's no white folks, there's no Hispanics, there's no this, there's no that. There's a lot of black people that love to be there. Is that segregation to say that? No, it's not. Now, the folks that want to go up in the mountains somewhere, they want to do it on the guise of, I don't want to be around other people because I hate them. We want to stay around our community just because it's safer to us to do so. So is it really segregation, though? And do you really want to live around other groups? That's the question I have, too, when it comes to that conversation of segregation. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught, Chicago, there we go, separation. And the older I get, I understand why. At first, I didn't understand it when I was younger, but I get it now because you have less problems. See, the American experiment is a problem because you think you know more than God. I always tell people that you think you know more than God. It's a reason God gave certain people certain languages and certain customs and certain culture, and they went stayed with their own, right? Is a reason why everybody was in different parts of the earth with their own. Now you're trying to mesh everybody together. This is why you have so much clashes in America, is because it was really never meant for everybody to be living under one bubble like that. Not saying you can't get along with people, but it was never meant for that. It was never meant. No matter what group is at the top of the pyramid, it's going to be a problem because other groups feel their culture should be up there too. And this country is not set up for every group to be at the top running things. It's set up for white people as of today. You understand? So when you say Chicago's a segregated city, we got segregated. You got sundown towns, right? Chicago's not a sundown town. So there you go. So that problem is all over America. I just want to respond to that. Now, here's my thing. Like D.C. Okay, Trump went to D.C. Cool. He went to D.C. I'm going to repeat what I said about the D.C. situation. The hardened criminals, the drug dealers, the gang members, the little whoever out there stealing, no matter who they are, doing bad things. Hey, man, they get caught up. They get caught up. I ain't saying nothing about it. I'm cool. But the issue I have is the stop and frisk stuff. I'm going to keep repeating that because this is what they showed in D.C. they're going to do. They already showed you. They're gonna be having checkpoints, pulling you over, messing with you about silly things, and trying to find a reason to put you in jail. That's what I saw happen in D.C. when he did that. And that was like my issue to say, okay, that's not cool. Go after the hardened criminals all day. You understand? So if they going out there, the old block and all that and cleaning that up, hey, nobody gonna say nothing about that. But if you are walking in downtown Chicago as a black person shopping, and then they just targeting you, pulling you to the side, patting your pockets, give me your license, let me run your license, all this stuff like that, and you're not doing anything. This is what they were doing in D.C. And that is my issue with that. If they were doing no stop and frisk and just harassing people with checkpoints, I wouldn't be saying nothing. I'm like, man, go Trump. You're doing good, man. Okay, you say you're tired of the killing. Okay, all right, cool, no problem. Well, then ask yourself this question. Why do y'all have a police department? Y'all give billions of dollars to the police department every year, and y'all have all this killing. Wouldn't it be safe to say the Chicago Police Department is a failed police department? They can't control the city, and they can't control the city because they choose not to. It's a choice. Because when the Democrat National Convention came, there was no problems. Nobody got hurt. They can secure what they want to secure. So shouldn't the conversation be, Trump, don't give the Chicago Police Department no more federal dollars because clearly they can't handle the crime here? Shouldn't that be the conversation? Shouldn't the conversation be to your alderman about why they allowed the city to get like that? Shouldn't the conversation be to Mayor Brandon Johnson to why the city is like that? I mean, that's really who's supposed to be handling it. Governor Pritzker. Governor Pritzker got National Guard he can use. See, if it were me and I had to go clean it up, I'm going to go from the top, Brandon Johnson, all the way down. The alderman, I'm going to go down to, I want to know what you did with all the federal dollars we gave you for law enforcement. I want to audit all of the books with the Chicago Police Department to see what they did to stop these crimes and where this money at. If anybody caught with fraud or abuse, you're getting charged, right? It don't matter if you're the mayor, on down to alderman, the police chief, it don't matter who you are. If you are wasting dollars and you're not doing what's right, I would get down to the bottom of why it's like this. And 30 days is not going to fix Chicago's problems. It's not. It's going to be like D.C. All the people that's committing crimes will just stay in the crib. They ain't got a job to go to, so they're just going to stay in the crib. They can only be there 30 days. They can't be there like for the whole 4 years Trump's in office. Right? So I already see what they're going to do. I mean, ICE going to be on it. So prepare for that. Well, ICE is not our problem. But ICE is going to be on it for sure. ICE is going to be getting people in Chicago. Oh, yes. ICE, they already setting that up. But after 30 days, then what? You think all the crime going to be gone in 30 days? The crime didn't get there in 30 days, so it's not going to leave in 30 days. That's why, to me, it's silly. Wouldn't it be better for them to? I mean, if Trump want to occupy the city, so let me go there. Congress will have to pass a law that he can occupy a city as long as he want to. Then it would make sense at that point what he's doing. It would make a lot of sense. It'll make a lot of sense. And then when you say you're tired of killing, it's many people is killing out there. It's not just black folk. And like the sister said at the end, you're not addressing the core issues that create crime. You're not addressing the poverty. You're not addressing the homelessness. You're not addressing the lack of opportunity. That breeds crime in everywhere. I mean, there are people that got big time degrees, a lot of money into research into this, and they have pinpointed what creates crime. It has nothing to do with somebody's race. It is about those conditions. And then stacking on top of racism with us here in America, anti-black racism, and what we go through just not even being a quote-unquote criminal, right? You think Trump is going to solve that in 30 days? I'm going to tell you, no, he's not. There's no way he can solve it in 30 days. Well, no, I blame them all. I blame them all. Okay, because yes, it's Brandon Johnson, it's the alderman, because they got the federal dollars. If they crime was bad, if they felt crime was that bad, they could have called the governor and say, bring in the National Guard here. They could have called to get the FBI and all of them to come assist them on crimes, bring in their intelligence so they can get these people off the streets. They could do a whole lot from the city. They could do a lot. The governor could do a whole lot, but they choose not to. Because you have to understand, a lot of people make money off of crime. The private prison corporations make money off of crime. Then all the companies that service the prisoners make money off of that. Then you have a lot of nonprofit organizations that get a lot of money given to them for crime prevention or outreach programs for at-risk youth and all this sort of thing. And if you were to really solve the crime problem, a lot of people be out of a job, especially the criminal justice system. They'll be out of a job. This country don't want to solve crime. They don't want to solve it. People been reporting that for years they've been finding crates of guns in places in Chicago. Once again, we live in a surveillance state. That is nothing that we do that's not being seen on our side. And they can sit up here and see everything you're doing on your phone too, that you're holding in your back pocket. Because how come certain crimes get committed and all of a sudden they got from the time you drove away to every pinpoint where you were driving, they got you on camera. They know who doing what. They choosing to overlook it. They choosing to overlook it. Now, if Trump really wanted to clean it up, this is how you, like I told you before, this is how you clean it up. Bring in the National Guard. Bring it. But I'm bringing in my forensic auditors. I'm bringing in Doge. I'm bringing in everybody too. And I'm going through all the books. I want to see what you did with every federal dollar in here. I want to see. And if I find these 30 days y'all been misappropriating funds, people going to jail. I promise you, if them politicians would start going to jail behind misappropriating federal funds, this would have happened. And if Trump was to say, and if I come to your city, I'm doing the same thing. Watch how quick crime stop in them cities. Because them politicians don't want to go to jail. They look, the police people, all of them will make sure that crime is gone. Because they would want no problems like that. That's how you end the crime. You put the politicians in jail. They don't want to go to jail. So they're gonna get together and say, hey man, look, the crime's over here. I don't care what you do. Get them off the street. Get them off. Well, they're not really doing nothing. Man, look, what do we need to pass up here? A loitering ordinance or something? Where you can arrest them? That they can't hang out? What do we need to pass here? So if they wear any kind of gang affiliated clothing or a certain tattoo, what we need to pass? Because them politicians do not want to go to jail. That would be the way to force the cities and the states to do something and just start exposing them. What they doing with the money? Because the government gives you all this money. What are you doing with it? That's how, and then you have the National Guard and you go with the FBI and all them, and you go to the places you know good and well where the crime at. And hey, get off the block. Because if you out here and we show up, we just picking you up and asking questions later. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you shouldn't, this area right here, we know that's where the crime is at. We know. Now, you see some lady just walking, we're not going to mess with her. But you a male out here doing, no. We just gaffing everybody up at this point. And we will find out when we talk to you what's going on. We're going to run your name. We're going to look at your tattoos. We're going to see if you're in the system. We're going to do everything. We got to get at you because too much crime right here. And then Trump should be saying, there's no reason for young men to be hanging out during the day. You need to go to work. Or you have a business, you need to be working in your business during the day. There's no reason young men need to be hanging out. And then what I would do if I was president, I'm like, and in the process, I'm giving money for skilled trades. So we got about 2,000 jobs. Come get them. We'll get you trained up. We got construction jobs. We got this and that. Hey, all the illegal immigrants is getting out. That's jobs for you. Come get them. Either you go get these jobs or keep hanging out. We could definitely gonna put you in the deepest, darkest jail we got. So come get these jobs. That's if you really want to stop crime. That's if you want to stop crime. These people do not want to stop crime, ladies and gentlemen. They don't want to stop crime. That's a lie. And let's call it what it is. Y'all mentioned it earlier. Why isn't he talking about them places like West Virginia and all these white enclaves that's full of meth and heroin and everything else? That's crime too. Be honest with you, that meth and heroin is wiping out the white community. It's wiping them out. Between that, just choosing not to have children, abortion, that's what's wiping them out. You would think he would be going to those cities and cleaning that up. But no. Because for them, it's all about, oh, I'm going to show I'm in charge, oh, this and that. You know what I'm saying? All the black people asked me to come over there. They begging me to come over there, and all the case may be. You can only be there 30 days, bro, unless Congress give you an extension. And maybe you could get an extension with this Congress, but what happens after the election? You know good and well the Republicans going to lose seats. That's a guarantee, because every president lose seats of his party midway in his term. That happens, that's statistically. They're not interested in stopping crime. None of them are. None of them are. He said the meth apocalypse. Yeah. That's what it is. They're not trying to go over there with Methany and Matthew. They're not trying to go over there with them and pick them up. They should be raiding them trailer parks. Then go catch them. No, but see, what Trump and them trying to do, they're not going to raid the trailer park. What they want to do is go put a aircraft carrier outside of freaking Venezuela. That's what they want to do. They got Mexican politicians right now advocating for Trump to invade Mexico for the cartels. I don't know. Have y'all been seeing some of them videos? Boy, the Mexican politicians are literally fist fighting in their government. I saw it on TikTok. They are fist fighting about that. Because they got some of them saying, yeah, Trump need to go ahead and come on in and get rid of these cartels. And the rest of them like, we don't need to be invaded by the United States. And they are literally fist fighting over this. I'm like, tell me you're not affiliated with the cartel, bruh. Like, why are you fighting about that? I mean, you know what the cartel about. I mean, we don't have to go further than that. We on YouTube. Yeah, they need, Cynthia, they need, audit them, find out what they do with the money. I promise you. You're making examples out of some of them and put them in, get them some charges and put them in jail. I promise you the other cities overnight will clean up their act. Or they don't have to come over there no more. You all of a sudden say, man, wow, this country done got safe all of a sudden. Yeah, because politicians going to go to jail. Politicians don't care. Listen, politicians don't care who kill up each other. They don't care. Long as they get their money and they don't get touched by it. Politicians don't care. Oh, yeah, you seen that great black shark? Yeah, they not playing. They are hot about that because, see, Trump want to go stop the drugs because that's taking out his people. So he thinking, you know what? I can't really occupy their cities. But I'm just going to try to stop the drugs from coming in, period. So I'm going to try to invade, these Latin American countries, starting with Venezuela. Because, look, I already been getting at Venezuela as it is now. And they have a lot of oil reserves that we want out that country. And then we'll move on. I mean, Mexico going to be next. Oh, he wants to get at Mexico, too. And then the president they got, it's like you can just tell she tied in with cartel. It's like, bruh, can it be more obvious that you tied in with them? But like I was told, if you see politicians alive in Mexico, that they tied in with them. Because they say if they're not tied in with them, they don't last long. Because the cartel take care of them. And that's a place. Listen, I know some people disagree. I know, and Kellen's in there, and me and Kellen had these conversations. So I'm not saying nothing I ain't told him. But it's just too much to go on down there for me. Like I said, I've been to Costa Rica. It's been cool. Or whatever, but I guess maybe I just want to see more, other countries, and then too many. A lot of Americans. That's actually Americans' first destination spot is Mexico. A lot of Americans have a great time. I know some people actually stay over there in Mexico, black people, and they move from Houston to Mexico City. Actually, they love it. They love it, or whatever. Yeah, I know they say, well, look, they don't try to mess with Americans like that because that's bad for cartel business. I know all that, but it's not even just a cartel. It's a corruption with the police department. The police is very corrupt. How they run in your pockets and all of that stuff is like, bro, I'm cool, bro. I'm so cool. I'm cool. Not to say, like I said, I'm cool, Now, I've had people tell me, just go to the resort, you'll be fine. Just go home, whatever. Man, I don't even like it when people ask me stuff in the African continent. I don't like that either. Don't ask me nothing. I'm like, man, I work too hard for mine, especially if it's a grown doggone man. I'm more lenient if it's a woman with a child asking for some things. I'm a little bit more lenient, possibly. But a grown man asking me, you grown just as much as I am, and you can't, no, bro, no. You said the word, yeah, St. Louis, actually St. Louis ranked at the top, actually, with the homicide rates. Yes, St. Louis. I don't know why. Well, I know why he don't go to St. Louis. That's called what it is, politics. Because if you go to St. Louis, that's a Republican state. Missouri is Republican. Notice he's not going up there. He can go Louisiana too, but that's Republican. He's not trying to go over there. He literally playing politics. He claims it's crime, but it's politics. Oh, I'm going to these blue states, blue cities, and I'm going to wreck shop over there. That's all it is. And he doing it on the guise of racism. That's all it is to it. Because he know one thing, if he's down in the polls, if people are mad at him, one way to get them to rally behind, any white person knows this, any white politician knows this. If you want your community to rally behind you, just go talk to black people. Because that is a cultural norm to support that. Hey, at least I'm getting the blacks. See, I'm keeping them in check. Oh, yeah, man, you're a great guy. Even though he's not doing anything to help you specifically, but hey, he got the blacks in control. And you never even live around black people in Chicago. You never even been to Chicago, some of you. Some white people. You never been to Chicago. Some of you ain't been to D.C. either. But yeah, it's crime. Have you been there? Then you got people in the chat saying, hey, man, I walk around these places in D.C. all the time. Ain't nobody doing us nothing over there. Well, last time I was in D.C., and I went to a part, they say it's like the hood, and everybody was cool. People say, oh, man, hey, Phil, when you got out here, man, I know you was in D.C., and then I was talking to the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, every city got crime, bro. Every city got crime. You can't escape crime. Every city got crime. Chicago, Washington, D.C. is not just anomalies. Oh, my God, this is horrible. And, of course, you're going to have more crime in Chicago. It's a bigger city. Of course. And Chicago's always had crime. Al Capone, the mob. Like, come on now. That was way before black folks and all that. You know what I'm saying? Chicago always was known as a gangster city. So, like, don't try to throw all the crime on black folk. I don't like that. Man, Chicago, it's propaganda. Chicago is a beautiful city. It's nice people in Chicago. It really is. The first time I went to Chicago, I liked it. When we did those series of interviews, we went to me and Brother Sharif in Chicago. Then I think maybe a month or two later, I took just me and my wife for a weekend to Chicago. Now, if you fly to Chicago, my advice, go to Midway. Don't go to O'Hare. Midway is closer to downtown, and it's easier to get out. It's kind of like you have Bush and Continental here in Houston and Hobby. Hobby is a smaller airport. It was smaller in size compared to Bush. So I'd rather fly to Hobby. Now, if I got to fly international, then I drive over to Bush. It's like almost an hour drive for me to go over to Bush. You know, Houston's that freaking big. So you can drive for an hour and a half and still be in Houston. That's just how it is. Harris County, I think one of the biggest counties in America. Harris County. But fly into Midway. Go to Midway and it'll be all good. That's the airport I fly to is Midway. He say Trump's toupee is a real crime. Look, you know his wife don't love him because she ain't told him nothing. Look, you can always tell when a woman don't love they man because she let him go out there looking ridiculous. Because I know if I was looking crazy on camera or wherever, my wife would have got me told real quick, say, what's wrong with your hair? You know, and it's the thing. Trump got the money to go get his hair back. He got the money. Now, yes, he's going to have his head shaved bald, and they can graft all his hair back. I mean, he got the money to go do it. He just choose not to. Yeah. You say the big city? Yeah. They're about the crime. And look, they're gonna go to Detroit. Anywhere where they're gonna go. Trust me, Detroit's next. They coming to Detroit. They coming to Baltimore. That's for sure. They coming. They talking about going to New York City. They may go to Philly. Don't be surprised. He gonna keep doing this mess. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, he say Orange Julius to say it's falling apart before our very eyes. Well, hey, it is what it is, and like I say, his wife don't like him, so I don't think his wife gonna shed a tear. Maybe she'll play it up for the camera, but she ain't gonna shed a tear. She really don't like him. She really don't. But women like that, they don't leave their marriages. They're like, yeah, I don't like this dude. I'm just gonna ride it out. I didn't done it this long. Shoot, I'm not leaving it. I'm not leaving this bag. It ain't happening. See, that's how the white women think. Them white women, once they realize a certain money's around, they ain't going nowhere. They are staying. They not talking about going to get a divorce and going out there and being a city girl at her age. Unlike some of us in our community, that's what some of us will do, male or female. We out there. We can be freaking 60 years old and trying to get a 25-year-old. Talking about, yeah, I left my wife. I make me feel young, Rampage Jackson. Oh, boy, then you can't keep up with that young woman because your behind need to be to bed by 9 o'clock while that girl stay up all night. But anyway. He said Trump haven't paid the National Guard troops that were in Washington, D.C. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. He got the money to pay it's federal government's money. It's not even his money. He just don't like paying people. That's crazy because I ain't got no problem paying somebody and it's not my money. I'm like, oh, I can pay him your money? Oh, man, how much you want? Shoot, I got you. I got you all the way around. Shoot, federal government's money? Yeah. What you need? You need a bonus? I got you on that too. All right, y'all. Appreciate it. Okay, I'll check it out by Rampage. I appreciate y'all joining us on the stream tonight. Really appreciate it. Make sure to click the subscribe button. Make sure to click the like button. It's very important. But thank y'all. Oh, also, I think Great Black Shark talking about that hype feature. It doesn't work on this channel because it's only for channels from 500 subscribers to 500,000. So the hype feature don't work here. But our other channels, it can, like Emancipation Media, AfroWire AI, the Phillip Scott Show, the Phillip Scott Podcast. That hype feature work for there. And that's mostly on the viewer to do that, to hype it up. It's not no feature that I turn on if it's on your channel.